At the job description, I have no issues with that.
Neither do I.
Do either of the members have any discussions on the job?
Not the job description, the only discussions I have, do we want this as a summer position or a part-time yearly position? Or, I stopped and talked to Roger, because he's got some insight on what we're really looking for.
Basically, we'd like to keep them through like up to like Thanksgiving, possibly, if we need them for the winter, that too, but maybe it's the leaves, help us with leaves. That's basically how long, or like a lot of it would be summer, the summer stuff.
Is your budget able to support that?
I had a part-time person last year.
That part-time position was budgeted for 2024, and it's covered over several different ones. Roger's budget, the utilities department, the park budget. In the salary ordinance of this year, there was a hourly rate of $14.50. That's in the salary ordinance in anticipation of this again.
Is there a motion, I guess, then?
I make a motion to pass the part-time position, the job description, and start looking for a part-time person.
I agree with that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moving forward, that, I would just advertise that, or do you have someone in mind?
We could advertise it. I mean, there is, yeah, we could advertise, try to make it fair.
Okay.
How long? A couple weeks?
I would say at least a week.
Okay.
But
We
I
can
mean,
do
do you
that.
have somebody in mind?
No, not at this point.
Okay. So advertise it, and then you're a department head.
Okay.
So, any other discussion on the job part-time position? Nope. Moving on to new business. Annette Haney, Project Hope.
Hi, my name is Annette Haney, and I am, let me say, I'm not representing tobacco tonight, I'm representing Project Hope, which is now transitioned into Marshall County Hope. Project Hope was a grant-funded project that we started right before COVID. We received a $3 million budget for education, prevention, and treatment. That grant ended December. Now we are coming back and asking the communities here to help us support Project Hope, Marshall County Hope, on what we continue to do. We have really worked hard these last 4 years to get where we wanted to be with helping substance use disorders. We go into the school for the education part. We were at 4th grade today teaching kids. I mean, it's getting younger and younger. So we're looking at all this. We're looking at transportation. We're looking at peer recovery coaches. And our coordinator for this is Thomas Kennard. And he also does the SOFR team. I don't know if that's a suicide, overdose, fatality review team. So they sort of go hand in hand in a lot of ways. The only thing that we know is that with the restricted funds that you receive, that has to follow certain guidelines, which is like 15 pages within the state of Indiana. Marshall County Hope is doing that. So that's what I am here for, is to request the restricted funds to help us continue with the education, the prevention, and the treatment that we are doing right now.
Were you guys gonna, what happened with the grant?
It ended. It was a 3-year grant.
So you know, gonna reapply down the road for it?
Not for this one, we can't. It was a big HRSA grant, so we cannot do that. But we are applying for other grants that come along the way.
Yeah.
We've applied for the ECHOS grant, but of course it's not even coming close to that $3 million budget. It's a much smaller budget.
Yeah.
So that is a part of it too, but that is also divided between the suicide, overdose, fatality review too. So we do not get all of that.
I'm just gonna ask, cause it's getting harder for us to fund things because that tax base gets lower.
Right.
So how much funds are we talking about in the restricted funds? How much?
Well, we received just a little over $5,700 this year for the restricted portion of that.
Is there anything that we could use those for that we maybe plan?
We, the non-restricted
Mhm.
money that we have gotten, we have been using for our DARE program at the elementary school. And as Annette said, it's very stringent on what you can use those restricted funds for.
It's a
Most of them
15-page
are,
document.
yeah, most of it is a treatment facility type things that, I mean, I don't know that the town of Bourbon will ever have. So the government really has put certain qualifications on what you can actually spend that for. The non-restricted we can spend on anything, whether it be drug kits or testing kits for the PD.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've used it for our DARE program this year.
So that's why I'm here. I'm not asking for the unrestricted
Yeah.
because I know that the communities can use that.
Yeah.
But the restricted funds do have so many state guidelines that I don't think, even with that $5,000 or what Kim said, there's no way that you could come close to doing that kind of project. And we've already had it in place, so we're just continuing what we're doing.
Question?
Is that recurring at 5,000 every year, or where did that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not guaranteed that we're going to continue. It was a lawsuit, yeah, opioid loss or settlement that the state of Indiana got money for, and it is being for 10 years or something
And
divided.
every year it goes down.
Yeah, and yeah, the amount that you receive every year continues to go down for a period of 10 years, and then at that point, you won't receive any more funds from that. It was with a big pharmaceutical company that the state of Indiana.
So am I hearing there's not anything that we can use it for within the community? Nothing with the PD?
It's more for in-house facilities, but I mean, if you would just want to table it, I can send you the link that you can look at to see what it is that you can use for the restricted funds.
And that if we pass it, end up giving you this money, you would have to comply and only use it for the 15 pages of things too. Couldn't be transferred to anything else other than those 15
No,
pages.
because we have to have our guidelines too
Correct.
for this information. Yeah, we are responsible.
So at the end of the year, excuse me, at the end of the year, this 5,700 goes away anyway, or no?
No, we're going to get some kind of funding for a period of 10 years, and I believe either last year or the year previous, because we did fund you guys here a year or so ago. So eventually that, like she said, the funding is going to diminish, and after a 10-year period, the town will not receive any funds, restricted or unrestricted at that point.
I guess what I'm asking is, what options do we have to use for that 5,700? Really is none, is there?
And in what I have read in the past, unfortunately not.
So it's not going to do us any good. I would rather see it go to something like that.
To benefit the community
Yes.
as a whole,
Yes.
rather than just a
Is there a motion? Or
I would make a motion that we donate that $5,700 to the project, Marshall County Project Hope.
I would second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries with the memorandum of understanding of the 15 pages.
Right, yeah, I have it but it's long and very detailed.
Would you read it?
No.
And Annette, I will just need something asking for that funding.
Sure.
For
Thank
my
you,
claim.
Annette.
Yes, thank you.
Moving on to CT Polymers.
So I have CT Polymers, a CF14 for their tax abatement. And they're asking for continued compliance on theirs. And I can't say anything but great things
Yeah.
about them. They, when they first applied for it, their estimated cost was 1.8 million with 24 employees. They now have 74 employees, and the salaries are 3.4 million. So they are more than
Huge.
in compliance and has made a big difference in the industrial park. So I'm asking for their permission to authorize their tax abatement continuation.
I'll make a motion to continue it.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries to accept.
I need you to sign that too.
Okay, keep growing.
Quite an
They
operation.
definitely are. Yeah. And great people. They're great people to
Very
work with.
committed to the community.
Moving on, Candace Hines.
Haynes.
I'm actually filling in for her. She had a scheduling conflict. I'm one of the parents of one of the students in the Trenton Rhythmic Revolution, formerly Trojan Shenanigans. I'm just going to read the letter she provided. She is seeking permission to conduct a car wash event on August 3rd from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Bourbon Street Garage, similar to the event we had last year in September. For our previous event, we collaborated with Candace's father, Roger Terry, to ensure access to water for the students and throughout the duration of the car wash. He generously volunteered his time and remained present throughout the whole event to provide any necessary assistance and plans on doing so this time as well. Our group was responsible for bringing our own supplies, including towels and essential materials. All we require is the space and access to the water. We greatly appreciate your consideration of the request and look forward to the opportunity to once again organize this fundraising event. Your support is invaluable to the success of our group, and we are committed to ensuring a well-organized and enjoyable car wash experience for all involved. And I have copies of our kind of costs that we're foreseeing for next year, if you want a copy.
I would like to see it. And what is your name?
My name is Michelle Gonzalez.
Thanks, Michelle.
Do you want her letter?
Sure. Thank you.
I make the motion to pass it. It's good for the,
Yeah, I second that.
All in favor?
although I saw Roger kind of cringe a little bit and smirk when he got to volunteer his time. So.
I did not. Trust me.
What are dads for, right, Raj? What are dads
You
for?
do get your cars washed.
Oh, yes, no, I have to pay,
Probably more.
pay dearly.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Bill Martin, do you want to do the next one, the resignation from your department?
Inside my packet, there's a letter of resignation from Brock Vermillion.
Motion to accept that, I guess.
I make a motion to accept that resignation.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to accept that. Report from department heads. Kim Berger?
Approval of claims 6385 to 6492, $752,595.79.
I'll make a motion to approve claims 6385 through 6492.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I need approval of pay application number 12 from Crosby Construction on the construction of the water plant. Pay app 12 is $770,000 or $770,129.67.
I'll make a motion to approve pay app number 12, Crosby Construction, for the amount of $707,129.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I did not put that on there, but I'm going to ask for commission, our petty cash funds right now are set at $50. And with the increasing of the postal rates continuing, we can't barely send our water samples into the state for that. So I'm going to ask it for approval to make the petty cash to $100 over $50.
I'll make a motion to increase the petty cash fund.
Awesome.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have.
Motion carries. Chief Martin.
You have my monthly report.
How we doing on reserves, the total amount that we have?
It's included in that Nick Spangle.
I attached the hours of the time served.
Do we have any more apps?
We have 2 in Academy right now, which they graduate on Friday, which you guys are more willing to come. It's at Kosciuszko's old courthouse.
It's worth going in that building.
The big
They-
courthouse.
they-
What time is that?
It's at 6 p.m. They put in, give or take, about 300 and some hours. They've been in Academy since January.
Yeah.
So they put in a lot of time, dedication. So once they get out, we will get them some road hours under our supervision and get them up to speed on. I mean, they've done the bookwork part. We all know hands-on is different, so. And then within a few months, I feel they should be on their own.
Well, thanks for what you do, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as, we're short one person, I need some guidance on what you'd like me to do as far as hiring.
What's your suggestion to the council?
My normal process where we offer it from within, go from there.
What kind of, have you set up a testing procedure for that? Since you may have several people involved?
Yes.
And what would that testing procedure consist of?
Written test, a physical agility test, and then interviews.
Okay. Well, my guess is, I mean, we have it that you proceed and then you bring forth your candidates to the council.
I would agree with that.
I support our department head on his decision.
Mhm.
And that's the process we have in place.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to change that process.
The last thing I have is, well, we got the reserves graduation this Friday, but I've had some complaints about our golf cart ordinance. I have complaints that infants are, like, people are just holding the child, and with kids jumping all over in the back seats, and it is like a dangerous situation, and I think we need to, I would like you to consider addressing that.
Is there anything in our, I haven't looked at that for a while.
Not in our ordinance, and the only route we could go is like getting CPS involved. But if our ordinance covered that, we could just stop.
Have you looked at any other ordinances that may address those particular issues, like agreement or?
So I kind of chuckled when you brought that up, because I wasn't expecting that discussion that I had sent these to Bremen. Did you see Bremen's guidelines for their golf carts and stuff? I thought maybe we needed to review it. One of the things is they are, maybe not the whole thing, but one of the things they make everybody go through the PD to get their tags, so that we know we get the triangles, which I know we've been short on this year. Make sure the tags are properly on. they request insurance. I know we don't request insurance, but there's certain things I thought, well, that's not a bad idea that we might want to review and look over, so, you might look at it, they had posted it just today.
Can I make a suggestion, I guess? Alex, would you be able to reach out and get Bert Freeman's ordinance? And maybe bring a couple of examples to the next meeting of updating that with, those issues?
Yeah, I can reach out to Tony Wagner and get a hold of their one.
Did they address kids?
What they had posted tonight, no, but what I was thinking with this process is I think there's a lot of people that think they can just come in and get a tag and do whatever they want. I mean, we've got the rules in place, it's like we've got rules in place for a lot of things. But I have seen, I don't know how many golf carts without the triangles, I know without the tags and the whole process. There's certain things that are on our roads right now that probably wouldn't pass.
Right.
The clerk's office gives out, you give out
Yeah,
copies.
yeah, but they don't do the inspections.
What kind of an inspection?
They actually have to take it to the PD to be inspected and looked over, so I would assume with the insurance, which I know we don't do that. One of them is insurance. I think the other thing would be verifying that we're using the tags for the proper vehicles. That's one thing I know that we don't do. We don't bring the vehicles up here and say, oh yeah, it's gonna pass or not gonna pass. I've seen four-wheelers, I've seen several different things in town that do have the tag but don't have the triangle.
Some of them are pretty fast moving.
Yeah, and maybe that discussion, and I thought maybe also it would be a connection between our PD and our community. But that's for you guys to discuss and bring it back.
Do you know offhand as far as Bremen, how they, all right, I already asked that. About how Bremen is handling it.
No, but he just asked Alex for their orders and stuff, so.
Alex, do you have any suggestions how you could maybe put anything in there, or any other communities might have anything for children occupants?
I mean, off the top of my head, I'm not aware of it, but I mean, I don't see a reason why even if they don't have something in theirs that we couldn't add something to ours, if that's what, you guys want to do, so we could certainly discuss that.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind putting something together, what you think would be adequate, and then we can talk about it next meeting.
Yep, I will do that.
Thank you, Alex.
Can I suggest that also gets sent to Bill and Kim, make sure that they've all
Well,
got a copy of it?
Oh, I'm
Then we get
sure
a
I
copy
will
of it,
see
we
it from
can
him,
sort
but
all the stuff with it. Is that okay, Bill, or, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Roger Terry.
You have the activity reports, and I have one other thing on there that's not on the agenda, is the sidewalks. I have a quote for sidewalks and South Main replacement. And Henry. I'm sorry, I don't know how much it was.
you guys can glance at it.
It'll be in the 500 block of South Main, on the west side of the road.
Would this be a 50/50 or we pay for
We're paying for this one. My budget only has 15,000 in it though.
Cement's expensive.
It has gotten very
Concrete is very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Expensive, yes.
Have you talked to them about what we could do to decrease that or anything?
That's about as far as it could go. It starts at basically where Frank Street is and heads south on the west side.
Then maybe it's something we do, what we can do this year.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Stay within your budget for this year.
Yep.
And then
We'll work from there.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion.
I agree. I mean, can't do any more than that.
Yeah.
I'll get with him and tell him what I got to work with.
I agree with that, Roger.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Motion on the table for that.
I'll make a motion to allow Roger to go up to his budget amount on the sidewalk replacement program.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Caroline,
So I'm here to ask permission by you.
Carolyn, you might have to come up
yeah,
closer.
you'll have to-
Because it's not gonna pick it up.
Okay, so I came up here to ask permission to buy a tool for the water department. We're required to have a valve maintenance program for the state, which we do not have. So I need to get a program going if we start on that. The reason I'm asking for this tool is we've got hundreds of valves in town. And can you imagine physically operating those ones that have been open years, closed correctly? So, we went and did a demo on it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty easy to use. There's a restriction bar on it. So you know how close you're getting to keeping that valve closed. So you can feel it in that restriction bar. So, the tool goes no faster than a person can manually turn it. So you'll know the speed of it. So you know water hammer and like that. So, I think it's an investment for town and everything. Please.
And what's the total for that?
There's two different quotes. Obviously, the one on top is cheaper. That's actually through the catalog if you have an account. And that's for the machine itself, and then we need the valve key that actually goes on the mainline valve.
Just another $500.
So there's the total approximate, yeah.
59.45.
And you have funds for that in your budget?
I would make a motion to allow Caroline to purchase this product. I think for their safety and for their well-being of doing this project that they need to have
I
that.
don't think they stress about this piece of equipment safety.
And I will second that with saying that they also emphasize that this tool that they are buying, they actually are using the same tool as the garage. So the batteries will interchange in the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
So is yours the second?
Mine's the second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Are you approving the USA one? Is that the
Yes,
one you're approving?
yeah.
Yeah, the USA Blue Book for $5,945. With, that includes the adjustment gate valve key.
With what?
It's a gate valve key that actually goes down.
Adjustment gate valve key for the hydrant, buddy.
It goes down to the valve box. Just get on that.
It's just an adapter.
Thank you.
Susie?
I don't have.
Susie, could you step up because everybody.
Step up. Can you hear me here?
Well, you might want to come a little close. Come right here. I won't
What?
bother you, I promise.
I said I would love to come up here. That's what I said. Okay, we met with the plan commission, but not enough people came, so we didn't get to sign this resolution in regards to all the ordinance changes that the plan commission's been working on for the last 1.5 years, 2 years. But I gave each of you a copy so that you have time to read it over.
Okay.
They will be able to sign it next month. And then the BZA, they only met briefly just to sign some papers for me, their minutes. And I think that's it.
Just for, on the record, publicly, there's a TIF meeting.
The
and that's
21st.
Scheduled for
The 21st.
the 21st of May at Plymouth City Building. It's at 6:00 p.m. And that's for anybody that's interested in knowledge of how TIF works, what the money could be spent for. So if you want to be involved and learn, you're welcome to attend. So, anything else, Susie?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Chad Step.
8 calls since last meeting. Gave you guys a paper on what the tablets would cost a month with the internet. And then for the field ops is $120 a year
Per device.
per device. There'd be 2 devices. Township's okay with it.
So we're gonna go half.
Yeah, they
Okay.
pay for one.
Okay.
Pay for the other.
Motion on the table.
I'll make a motion to allow that project for the tablets to happen and I'll take our part of it.
The $23.94 a month or for one tablet per month, and then the $120 a year for the field ops app.
Yes.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Could that be taken out of non-restricted funds, Kim? I mean,
For the opioid
Yeah.
ones, no, that's, has nothing to do with drugs, sorry.
I would assume there's money in the council that you're finding.
Well, we'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, and check, can you tell me real quick, what, just a general overview, so what it is, I know we talked about it last time.
It just gives you more detailed information as the call goes on.
As they're driving, as they're trying to
It
scout.
also has, knowledge stuff on the CAD that you can look up what's in the building.
Yeah,
or-
see, we didn't, I had a demo tablet to make sure we were getting service, but we didn't have the field ops on it. But I had our, I am responding on there and a bunch of other apps that we could download on these tablets to get useful information.
Thanks, Chad.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
I have one, keep yours ready for this.
Go ahead, sir. You want to step up here? We're going back to reference the, community crossings bid. Did you
Yes.
have a chance to review that?
I did. I reviewed the package that was submitted. All of the attachments are accounted for, particularly the acknowledgement of receiving addendum number 1 is in there. I went, checked all of the pay items are according to the bid documents. The unit prices are very good. And I have questioned none of these unit prices. They're all very good unit prices. And so I recommend awarding project.
Motion on the floor to proceed with this? For the community crossings?
I would make a motion to go forth on the bid.
Specifically awarding to Payment Solutions, Inc.
I'll second.
And I guess with one bidder, I guess a bid tab not very necessary to make. But we are
Unfortunately,
used to taking the documents and actually putting together to make the contract in triplicate so that it can be signed. It has the actual bid numbers in it, and all of it. And 3 packages, one for you, one for the town, one for the contractor, and one for JPR. Is what we're used to doing. So if I could take these, I can do that.
All in favor of the,
Aye.
motion carries to accept that bid, totally nominal.
Thank you, Mark.
Alex, you're up.
Thanks, Les. The first order of business was, and I sent an email to Kim here before the meeting began, that the meeting or the hearing with Karen Hahn, I think we finally have a final hearing date, kind of getting bounced around a little bit, of June 17th. That's when it's going to happen now at 9 a.m. on June 17th. The last hearing date apparently didn't work for the other attorney, but we should have it figured out now. The only other item that I just wanted to bring up, I guess I just need a little bit of direction. And I was prompted by Susie actually reached out to me on this. The property owned by the McVickers, you guys had discussed that actually back in February, and you had asked me to kind of check in on it. And I've gotten with Kim shortly after that to see where it had been left at. And she had advised me that Lord Byers had been working on a class with them. The class had been delivered, but had not been put in by them approximately a year ago. And I guess I just need a little bit of direction on what you guys are looking for me to send to them as far as a demand letter. Is it just concerning them fixing their windows, or is there something more that I need to be putting into that letter?
Well, just trying to refresh my memory. Did we pay for that glass?
No.
So the glass
We
is
did
in.
not. The town paid to paint the building
Okay.
at one point, but this was an agreement with the McVickers and the town because some of that, I don't know what it was, up above the windows was
breaking.
falling off and the molding around there was rotted. So they had specified that they would have the glass changed
And
Plymouth
repair.
Glass has said it's there, but
In agreement, the town ended up paying for the painting, so that was the agreement.
yes.
So I say to honor the agreement that they honor, that they put the glass in, or we proceed with, that they haven't followed through with what their integrity is.
So I guess what I would do is treat it, I mean, essentially a nuisance under our ordinance.
Yeah.
And within 30 days, start the payment process.
Yeah.
Yes. I wouldn't give them a lot of time. It's been long enough.
Right. Okay. Got it. As long as
Anything else, Alex?
for me.
Okay, and one more thing on the golf thing. I think Culver might have a good ordinance down there with being a summer town with golf carts and a beach and stuff. So that might be another avenue to look at their ordinance. So,
I'll check it out.
all right, thank you. Any patron comments? Would you step forward and state your name?
Lou Down.
Okay, Lou.
I was just had a question. I know you passed the thing with the overnight parking. My question was, because I wasn't here and that's my fault and I apologize. But what was the main problem you were trying to fix with that parking ordinance, the overnight parking ordinance?
There were several problems. First off, you had, to say it nicely, people being bullies and parking in front of one business just to irritate them. They were putting junk vehicles or, all night long so people couldn't park to go into this business. So, I mean, you had many people were just parking overnight there and affecting other businesses. So we had to do something to solve that particular situation. So, I mean, we went 3 months and trying to come up with ideas. Hopefully, we tried to. I went in and talked to this one particular business owner that caused some of this. He refused to cooperate. So it led us with no options to do something.
Well, and also with the rental properties, there's a guideline that there has to be 2 off-street parking spots for every rental.
For every.
Right.
every-
I understand that.
Yeah.
And for me, that can be done. I mean, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
And if that was the deal, make the landlords provide the parking space.
Well,
I was just-
that. We tried that.
Oh,
It just got pushed back. The other thing is, Lou, is one of the things I've noticed, especially since it's went into effect, is we had another patron here when this first started in January, talking about, well, you're gonna board up the downtown. My concern is, he presented the corner cafe, the building that's in the corner cafe, and I said something, I said, what, are you gonna get 6 rentals in that? And he's like, well, we can get more than that. I said, let's just stay with 6. I said, if we allow and don't continue this push to allow businesses to develop in the downtown and not the rental properties, we're just gonna end up pushing everybody out, because if we take 6 rentals and we put in that corner cafe and we say 2 parking spaces per rental, that gives us 12 vehicles. That's gonna push the bar out, that's gonna push the coffee shop out, that's gonna push on top of their visitation people that will come to visit. So, and it's like I've had this conversation with several different people. If we don't change something that we've done, nothing's gonna change. And I've noticed just like last Sunday night, downtown was packed. Main Street was packed up and down, both sides, even Center Street was parked. In fact, we even had somebody parking in a non-parking space because Center Street was packed. So, do we think this is the perfect solution? No. There's never gonna be the perfect solution for everybody, but is it potentially growth in the downtown that we may not have had, without putting some more restrictions on it to try and make sure that is that gonna keep the tenants from parking in those areas during the day? No, it's not. It's not, but will they go out there and not change, are they gonna go out there and move their vehicles every night at midnight? Probably not either. So it's to help cleanse and look forward to prosper what we can still gain back for businesses downtown. And our downtown business district is from Harris Street to Bourbon Street on Center Street, and from Quad to Park on Main Street. And that's what went into the ordinance.
Years ago, there was an ordinance for parking on Main Street
Yeah, it was
and
to
Center
our
Street, yeah,
parking.
period.
Yeah.
Well, see, for me, that makes more sense if you're trying to keep the parking spaces open for the businesses. Because when you have no parking from 1 to 6, that doesn't help the businesses at all.
It also helps us plow when we need to plow and get the vehicles out of the way. I know that's maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months, maybe a month out of the
Maybe 10, 20 times out of the year, and you're shutting it down.
But
for the whole
also,
year.
we had to have a happy medium, so we do not have the PD that can do a 2-hour parking. We don't have the payrolls that can do meter maids every 2 hours to keep up on it, and the likelihood of that getting, nobody's gonna
On the
keep up.
2-hour parking, I just, lots of people can come in to town, and I don't wanna handpick places, but, you know,
I'm gonna sit down right
Yeah.
now talking.
not to handpick places, but, I mean, we want people to come in to town and spend their money, and we want people to have fun. You know, you could come into town and listen to a band and be there longer than 2 hours and violate that parking. We don't want to jam, you know, people up for violating a 2-hour parking. If you come into town and have breakfast with your friends and sit at a restaurant, you're more than likely gonna spend more than 2 hours at a parking. So to me, the 2-hour parking was not anything but just hurting people coming into town.
And mainly it was aimed at the landlord situation,
Well,
the apartment situation.
North Manchester has the same similar ordinance. They're actually, I think, over 9. Warsaw's coming up with that. There's a lot of these communities have.
I think
We're going to
Argus-
see Argus
did something.
So these communities, this is kind of a drive to preserve and grow what we do have for downtown businesses.
I guess I just don't understand how, I realize that they won't come out and move their cars, but that still leaves them available to park all day
It does, and if they
in
want,
front of business.
if they want to be difficult, then we're gonna have to go back on the land.
It was
And
a
even that,
soft-hand approach rather than slowing the 2-hour parking, and it was a soft-hand approach.
and even with the landlord situation, 2 parking spaces per apartment. Nobody says that I have to park there. I mean, I could be renting for you and say, nobody says that just because you're providing me 2 spots,
Yeah.
that I have to park there. So again, you get back into that scenario. We're gonna have some difficult people, or could have, I understand that, but honestly, I hope that everybody looks at it in a
Positive way.
and a social way enough that you're affecting your community, not just being severed.
I guess to me, it just didn't make sense. If what you're trying to do is promote business, it just didn't make sense to me. So, but hey,
Yeah, it was interesting. I think it was Sunday.
a lot of things I do, it doesn't make sense to other people either, but
Main Street packed out, and like an hour and a half later, it was like 4 vehicles downtown. I'm like, wow, I don't know what was going on, but
The church downtown now has Sunday
do they?
suppers. So it's quite busy
Yeah.
Sunday evenings around 5 on for a while.
Lou, there's no perfect solution to it all.
no,
You're not gonna please anybody, and no matter what idea that you come up with, there's gonna be people that say, that's,
I'm sure.
so. Anything else that we can help you with?
Thank you for your comment.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
for
thank
coming
you for
forward.
your input.
And we entertained people to come forth with any other ideas that we never thought of. I mean, it takes a community of people coming together with ideas to generate something, and
Yeah.
we did for 3 months. And I
Yeah.
think we had 1 person within that 3 months come and even talk.
Yeah, we pushed it out on purpose because of that reason.
Yeah. Is there any other patron comments. I just want to point out, I want to thank the kids for coming, or the young adults. Thank you. I mean, it's really important for you guys to come and participate because someday you guys are going to be up here. Somebody's going to be running this town. It's going to be your generation. So you need to get involved. I encourage you to get involved. So stay involved. So moving on to council member comments.
I have none at this
I
point.
do.
Well, all right.
I'm challenging you both and anybody else to come up with ideas for Matchett Center. I don't think it's getting rented out enough. I haven't walked through. I told Kim I was gonna walk through and tour it. I didn't get a chance to before this meeting. I don't think it's getting rented out enough. And
It's a very nice
I'm looking at the
facility.
numbers for last month. We brought in $500, and I don't. That barely is gonna cover the.
It doesn't cover the expenses. Are we?
What do you think? Reaching outside the box or doing some kind of promotional video of it and trying to advertise that to Warsaw and Bremen to utilize that as a conference or educational site, say.
So I know I've had these side conversations, but officially, what does it cost to rent the Matchett Center for a day?
It's not cheap. Was it
$300.
That's part of our struggle, I think. There's several places that are a lot less than that for. There's several different ways that I've thought about doing it, and I'm not saying I'm right by any means, but there's, you can, but different layers, different tiers, people in town, different fees than people outside of town. I'm bringing this up for us to think about it and try to get something.
And we do have that in place at the moment for outside of the community. And this probably, and this.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And this probably really isn't the place to have this conversation, but we've been having a lot of people from South Bend, Mishawaka renting it, and had an episode there on Sunday. And of course, so they did not get their deposit back, but they don't think a thing about spending $600 on an all-day event and not being out at the time that they're supposed to be and not cleaning it up. And so, I mean, we can go into more detail. I'm not going to go into detail on that publicly, but we can go into more detail on that later. But there's just been a lot of issues in that aspect of it.
I was gonna ask if you'd step forward and state your name, so we can hear.
Yeah, I'm Elias Lucas. I'm a senior at Trenton Junior Senior High School, and just an idea, with the Matchett Center is maybe getting with the school and providing a small discount to seniors for their senior graduation parties.
We do that.
You do that?
Yes, they get 100. They can rent it for the whole day for $150. Triton graduates.
Triton graduates.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's been in the ordinance for a long time.
Okay. Thank you. That was.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, that's how many graduation parties do we have scheduled?
You know what? We don't have hardly any. Usually in June, it's Friday through Sunday, the whole month of June, the end of May, and we maybe have 5 this year. It's really went down.
Do you guys have a video production or anything like that at school?
Video production? Not that I know of, but
they do or don't?
Not that I
I
know of.
don't think Triton has that either.
No, I'm sure that you could get together with maybe Mr. McCann or the school council and talk about maybe promoting it to more of the seniors.
I just was wondering if, because I know maybe they would do some kind of video commercial, help us with that.
Yeah.
I was going to point you to do that.
Welcome to the meeting.
I'm just a band kid. I can't do that.
Hey, I was a band kid once too. Let's not give them a
So
bad
was
rap.
So was I.
Maybe, specifically Derek Eveland, he runs our art department and most of the stuff like art stuff like that. Maybe getting together with him and creating some kind of poster or flyers to hang up around the school.
What was the name again?
Derek Eveland. He's our.
Could I encourage you to speak with him on our behalf?
Yeah,
And
I
then
can,
I'll give you my phone number afterwards, and you can call me and let me know what you found out.
yeah, because I know as a senior, I'm looking for a place, or I think my mother already found one, but it might be beneficial to put up physical reminders of the Matchett Center and its, well, relative cheapness compared to other places for seniors.
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So after the meeting, get with me, I'll give you my phone number, and then we can get together and we can work on that together. Okay?
Yes. Nick brought up, people that rent it from out of town. Can you add, like, that they provide security through our department?
If it's alcohol served, you know?
Alcohol, that's already in there. If alcohol is being served, they're supposed to have a licensed bartender there. Now, we could add a security thing to that. I'm beginning to think on some of the events at the park, I might have to do that also. Yeah, or I guess on my side of it, I need to make sure that the police department knows on several of the rentals when they are, so that I can have them do some checking. Yeah, there was an event at the park here a couple weeks ago that I probably needed that. Should have had police presence after I heard after the fact, but so that's on me too. I need to do that more with the PD.
Do you have any other comments?
Nope, just your challenge,
Yeah.
our challenge.
Actually, I have something for that. Have you guys promoted that on like the Bourbon Community Cares Facebook page about the Matchett Center and the price for the seniors?
I don't know if it's been promoted on Bourbon Community Cares. I mean, of course, it's on our website.
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't
Yeah.
check that, but
I know.
It wouldn't take much to do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
and then also the school has their own Facebook group page and group, so maybe ask the school if they could add that as well.
I mean, we could do it on our Bourbon page, and then I'm sure it would get shared.
What do you think about creating its own web page?
Facebook page?
I think we have our own Matchett Center Facebook page.
We do?
I think so.
Who's in control of that?
Well, I think Macy did it for us, but Les is the administrator of our Facebook page. So.
Yeah, we need to do something, because I was going through this, and like I said, April, I think it was $500 in April.
And a lot of that is people that have paid their rental fees in advance.
Yeah.
Also, so.
I don't know, I think it was trying to promote more some type of commercial, try to get maybe some cool kids to do it for us. Try to get some of that.
Yep. Anything I'm sure will help.
Yeah.
I know, because it sits down there.
Yep.
Maybe like you said, some pamphlets and put around.
Yeah, flyers.
Mailers, send some mailers out.
Yeah.
Tim likes to spend money, so.
And the post office
we
just
just
keeps
increased our
raising the
budget
rates.
for that, you see.
Sure. We'll remember that at budget time, gentlemen.
Revisit that again?
Exactly. Yeah, next month. Next month we'll be visiting that budget for 2025.
If there's nothing else, I appreciate everyone coming and participating. I think it's important to have everyone coming together as a community. Entertain a motion to close.
I'll make a motion to close.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion